Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, it is KingNido here, and today we come to you from Striton City, where the grass type greens are trying to end their 5-game losing streak, but to do so they have to defeat the Heart Home Spectres, who've only lost 1 game all season and are currently sitting on top of the leaderboard. So this will be a big ask for the grass types, so let us know in the comments below who you think will win this matchup. Will it be the grass types? Will it be the ghost types? Let's go! That is right, the ghost types are back on top of the leaderboard, and they are starting out with Poltergeist and Gengar. It will be Go-Goat and Florges starting out for the Striking Greens, and immediately Florges is going to Terrasilize into a grass type. Do not be fooled, it is normally a fairy type Pokemon, but it is the Terrasilizing Pokemon for the Striking Greens. It takes that wondrous form now, and it will be a grass type, but it will still have that stab boost for fairy type moves, as Gengar with the speed advantage immediately goes for a super effective cross poison onto Go-Go. Fantastic hit there. Florges looking to respond, goes with the Inferno onto Gengar, and a great connection there as well, and it's left Gengar with the burn. This is going to cut into its attack stat, but it's also going to do passive damage to it every turn, as we get the Revelation Dance now from Poltergeist onto Go-Go, and Go-Go is eliminated. It was unable to even go for a move in this matchup before being eliminated, as Gengar is going to take a little bit of damage from that burn, and out comes Meowscarada for the Striaton Greens, and immediately Meowscarada is going to go for a Frenzy Plant, and with that Protean ability it is going to become a Soul Grass type, going for Gengar, and Gengar is eliminated with that not very effective attack. A fantastic rebound by the Striaton Greens, and Florges looking to follow up, goes for the superpower, but it will not affect the ghost types. They are immune to fighting and normal type attacks, as Poltergeist responds with the Infernal Parade, going for Florges. Not a very good hit there, and out comes Gholdengo for the Heart Home Spectres, as Meowscarada has to recharge after that Frenzy Plant. This opens the door for a Draco Meteor from Gholdengo, and a massive connection there onto Meowscarada. It is going to lower that special attack of Gholdengo though, as the double edge will not affect Gholdengo. Again, those normal type moves don't affect the ghost types. Stuffed Cheeks now being performed by Poltergeist. It's going to chow down on that Leopard Berry, boost its defense a great deal as well. Poltergeist only has a 65 base defense. It's more of a special Pokemon, as we get the Cotton's Paw now from Meowscarada, but Gholdengo, as good as Gold ability, makes it immune to that, but it is going to lower that speed of Poltergeist a great deal. Although it's already the slowest Pokemon on the field, we get a Future Sight being set up by Gholdengo now onto Florges, so it foresees that attack, and Florges does respond with the Retaliate, and yet another move that the ghost types are immune to. Florges needs to get their act together, as Poltergeist with the Teleport is going to go back to the bench, and out in its place comes Drifblim, who is a part flying type, could capitalize on that heavily, as the Poltergeist from Meowscarada. This is going to be super effective onto Gholdengo. A fantastic connection as well. Gholdengo is able to hold on and sets up a light screen here. Is going to make its side stronger against special type moves. Drifblim going for its first move of the matchup with the Thrash, and it eliminates Meowscarada in impressive fashion. Florges looking to respond for its side though with the Bug Bite onto Drifblim, who heavily tanks that move. It is not very effective. Does steal the Leopard Berry, does Florges, of Drifblim in the process, and chows that out. So disrespectful, stealing somebody else's food, as out comes a Abomasnow for the Striaton Greens, and Gholdengo with the Kowtow Cleave onto Florges, gets a really good hit there as well, and Drifblim continues to use that Thrash, and the 1-2 connection gets the elimination of Florges, and that is 2 for 2 for Drifblim on this field right now. Fantastic work, and that sun does come back out as the Thrash Pokemon has been eliminated, and Drifblim has become confused due to the fatigue of the Thrash as well, but we get the Psyshock now from Abomasnow onto Gholdengo, and Gholdengo, not very effective as that move tanks that hit, as out comes Rillaboom for the Striaton Greens, and with that Grassy Surge ability, the Grassy Terrain does get set up, so everybody whose feet are on the field, so this will not be Drifblim, will have their health restored in between turns, as that Giga Impact will not affect the ghost types, and we get the power swap now from Gholdengo, focusing in on Rillaboom, so it switches all the changes to their attack and special attack, and Drifblim needs to shake off this confusion, otherwise it will do damage to itself, and unfortunately that is exactly what happens. It does hurt itself in its confusion, opening the door for Abomasnow to set up a Teeter Dance. This is a risky play because it does confuse everybody else on the field, including Rillaboom, but Gholdengo with that good as gold ability will be unaffected. Drifblim's already confused, so Rillaboom's the only one who suffers thanks to Abomasnow's actions. That is terrible for the Striaton Greens, because they're kind of holding their own here. They have lost 3 Pokemon already. and only have 3 remaining, and there's only 1 down for the Hearthome Spectres, but the Spectres are not leading this in as impressive fashion as I would have expected, but we get the Dragon Rush now from Gholdengo onto Rillaboom, gets a good hit there. Drifblim looking to follow up, it is still in a confused state however. Drifblim is able to shake it off, going for the Air Slash onto a Bonus and that super effective hit does some massive damage to the part Ice type, who responds with the dual Wing Beat onto Gholdengo, and those 2 hits are not enough. They are not very effective, and Gholdengo is still holding on in this matchup as Rillaboom is having his health restored from the grassy terrain, as does Gholdengo and a Abomasnow. Abomasnow took massive damage that turn. That was very impressive by Drifblim, but Rillaboom is confused. It needs to shake it off. It is able to, and it goes for the Spark onto Gholdengo and gets the elimination. The Steel Ghost type has been taken out of this matchup. That is fantastic for the Striking Runes, as Drifblim has snapped out of its confusion. This is very risky. It goes with the charge, though it doesn't go on the offensive. Instead, it is charging power here on the field to boost its special defense, and it already has that only has that 54 base special defense. Has huge health though, as it is unaffected by that move from Abomasnow, and there is Abomasnow and Rillaboom still having their health restored, and the light screen does wear off on the side of the Hearthome Spectres, and back out on the field comes Poltergeist. Rillaboom is still in a confused state, and it does do damage to itself. Surely Abomasnow must be apologizing because it is the one that confused it, but this opens the door for a Calm Mind from Drifblim here, so it is going to boost its special stats, both that special attack and that special defense, getting a nice boost there. Poltergeist looking to follow it up with an Eruption, and this will be super effective. Abomasnow and Rillaboom, the huge play is completed by Poltergeist all by itself, taking out both grass types, and the whole complexion of this matchup has changed because Scovillain is all by itself and immediately is on the receiving end of a Feather Dance from Drifblim. This is going to lower Scovillain's attack stat a great deal. Scovillain does respond though with the Mega Drain onto Poltergeist. Normally it would have its health restored, but it's already at full strength. Poltergeist with the Corrosive Gas is going to burn up the Leopard Berry of Scovillain. Drifblim's has already been taken away from it by Florges earlier on in this matchup, and there's Poltergeist having a little bit of health restored as that grassy terrain does disappear from the field. And there's that Moody ability. Scovillain gets a speed boost, but it does lower its attack stat in the process. Is down the quickest on the field though, and goes with the Metal Sound. Now this is going to lower that special defense of Poltergeist a great deal. 114 base, very impressive special defense, but the Rock Tomb, super effective on the Scovillain from Drifblim, who's had an impressive matchup. And Scovillain does have its speed lowered in the process, and it's followed up by a Zap Cannon from Poltergeist, but Scovillain's able to get out of the way and avoid that attack, and here's that Moody ability, boosting its speed back up, but it does lower its special defense in the process. So it is still the quickest on the field, and goes for the Thunder Fang onto Poltergeist. Poltergeist tanks that, but with the weak armor it does lower its defense. It is going to boost its speed, however. Probably should have gone for Drifblim, would have been super effective because it's part flying, but we get the takedown now onto Scovillain, who's able to hold on. Poltergeist gets a little bit of recoil damage. Drifblim could finish it off here, and it goes with the Swords Dance. It must be feeling confident. It is going to give itself a nice attack boost here. But Scovillain is still in this matchup, and yet again it boosts its speed, so it wants to maintain that speed advantage, but it needs to get these eliminations. And it goes with the double hit. This will not affect the ghost types. Poltergeist has an opportunity here. It's been since the start of the matchup, and it goes with the Rock Blast. And it only needs one of that multi-hit move. Super effective. It gets the elimination. That is 6. I repeat, 6 losses in a row for the Striating Greens. The Hearthome Spectres did start off slow here today by their standards, but they absolutely ran away with it, and they just got their 8th victory of the season, so they are locking up that spot on top of the leaderboard. In the next round they will be taking on the Pony Timbers, who have been moving their way up the leaderboard, whereas for the Striking Greens next round they will be taking on the Levere Candy Hearts. But until then, Nidorinos, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I will see you when you see me.